Hey everybody, today we're going to learn how to synthetically divide polynomials. So this is quite a bit easier than long division, but you can't always use it. So one thing to note is that your divisor has to look like this. So it has to be x plus or minus some number. That's it. So it has to be a binomial with a degree of 1. So you're going to start with using the root associated with the divisor. So you take basically this, the divisor, x plus 3, set it equal to 0, and when you solve that, you would get x is negative 3. And that's what goes right here on the outside. Then you just list the coefficients on the inside. So we've got 2x cubed goes here, negative 5x squared goes here, negative 1 goes here, and then 3 goes here in the last spot. Now pay attention, make sure that the degrees, you hit all the degrees. So this is the third degree, second degree, first degree, and then the constant or degree of 0. If there's not a number there, you want to make sure that you have a placeholder there as a 0 so that it'll just mess up everything if you don't have that placeholder there. So then what you do is you take the first number, so you take that 2 that's here, and it comes straight down, so you don't actually do anything with that. Then you're going to take that number, the 2, and you're going to multiply it by this negative 3, so our root. And you put that number here. So you've got 2 times negative 3 is that negative 6. And we add straight down. So with long division, we were subtracting. Here we're going to add straight down. So negative 5 plus negative 6 is negative 11, which is here. And then we just kind of start the process over again. Multiply it by our negative 3. Negative 11 times negative 3 is 33. Add straight down. So negative 1 plus 33 is 32. 32 times negative 3 is negative 96. 3 plus negative 96 is negative 93. And that's your remainder. So one way to get this answer kind of all the way to the end is this is the remainder. This is a degree of 0, or it's a constant degree of 1, and then a degree of 2. So these numbers at the bottom here become our coefficients. So I've got a 2, that's this 2 coefficient here. Negative 11 here. 32, 32, and then negative 93 is right there as my remainder. So let's look at doing one on our own. So we're going to start with my divisor here, so which is the root is 1. Some people think of it as the opposite. They're not wrong. You're putting that as the divisor. And you've probably seen it like this with a square there. Right, it's like in the box, I think is what people say. And then I'm going to use my coefficients. So I've got a 1, a negative 1, a negative 2, and an 8. So that comes from, there's an implied 1 here, negative 1, negative 2, and 8. And notice that they go down by 1 degree each time. So I've got 1x cubed, negative 1x squared, negative 2x to the first, and then 8x to the 0, or that's the constant. So they do go down. Now I'm going to do the actual division. So I'm going to bring down my 1, and then I have to do 1 times 1 is 1, and I add. So negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Then here I have 0 times 1 is 0. Add. Negative 2 plus 0 is negative 2. Multiply. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. And I add, and I get 6. So this is my remainder, constant, x, and x squared. So my answer is 1x squared plus 0x. So there's no reason to put that in, right? 0x doesn't make sense. Minus 2 plus, my remainder is 6. So it becomes 6 over x minus 1. That x minus 1, this x minus 1, is from the original problem here. Next, we're going to try this again. So my root is -2. Remember, that's my the root from here, from my divisor. And then I have 1x cubed, -1x squared, -2x, and 8. Right, this one is slightly different than the one above, x plus 2. Yeah, this is the same question, but it's divided by x plus 2. So bring our first down, 1. 1 times -2 is -2. Add. -1 plus -2 is -3. -3 times -2 is 6. Add. -2 plus 6 is 4. 4 times -2 is -8, and when you add that, you get 0. So this is my remainder of 0, constant of 4, x to the first, and x squared. So my final answer is 1x squared minus 3x plus 4 with no remainder. There's no reason to write that. We have another one here. So my divisor, my root, is -2. Put that in my box. I have 1x cubed, -3x squared, -7x plus 6. They went down by 1 degree each, so I don't have any placeholders. Drop my 1. 1 times -2 is -2. I add. I get -5. -5 times -2 is 10. I add. I get 3. 3 times -2 is -6. I add with a remainder of 0. This is my remainder, constant, x to the first, and x squared. That's another way you can write it if that's helpful. So you have 1x squared minus 5x plus 3 with no remainder. That's your answer. Okay, last one here. My divisor is +4. Goes right there. 1x cubed minus 3x squared minus 7x plus 6. They went down by 1 degree each. Drop my 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Add them. 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Add them. -7 plus 4 is -3. -3 times 4 is -12. Add them, and you get -6. So this is my remainder, constant, x, and x squared. So I've got x squared plus x minus 3 minus 6 divided by x minus 4. Now, just if you wanted to check your answer, which I would highly encourage you doing, right? This would mean that, let me write it in another way, okay? I've taken A and divided it by B, and I got C, right? So in another way, that would be A divided by B equals C. So I could, if I wanted to, I could multiply both sides by B, and I would get that A is equal to B times C. So what does that mean? That means that I could take B, which we might divide it here, times C, which is my answer here. If I multiply those two things together, I should get A, which is this here. So you could check your answer that way. That's a good way to check it. You could also do that in your calculator, right, by taking B times C in your lists and see if B times C is equal to A as far as your data is concerned. Okay. That's it for today. So your homework is on Delta Math. Good luck.